Hey, family. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Just grateful to be with you one more time here on Friday. And we're going to be looking at part one and part two of the miracle of the bush. The miracle of the bush. Right now, 6 o'clock, and then again this evening at 6 p.m. So, here's what I want you to do. When you get a chance, I want you to open up your Bible and look at, or on your phone, Exodus chapter 3, verses 1 through 6. Exodus chapter 3, verses 1 through 6. And what I want us to focus on is Moses' encounter with the burning bush. The burning bush, the burning bush. And what I want you to start thinking about is the miracle of the bushes in your life, or the miracle of the bush that God is trying to get your attention. And here's what I mean. Moses had now been out in the desert, right? He's married. He's now living with his father-in-law, Jethro. And they are in the land of Midian. And he's tending to sheep. He's helping his father-in-law. The sheep are out there, they're grazing, they're climbing up to the mountains, and Moses notices a bush. And the bushes in your life, my life, what they usually represent, what we can say is that bushes represent the things that you and I don't really notice. Bushes are the things in life that don't grab our attention. Bushes are the things in our lives that we usually walk past because they're not all that significant. But this day was different. For Moses, he's doing his usual day in, day out stuff. Kind of like you and I, sometimes maybe life feels like it's just routine and it's just the same thing every day. How you doing? I ask some people, how's it going? Oh, it's you know, kind of same, another day, same game, I guess you could say. But Moses is going and he's doing his thing, and he notices that there's a bush, but it's not consumed. A bush that's on fire, should I say, but it's not consumed. It's on fire, but it's not burning. And he tells himself, I got to go check this out. And as he approaches the bush, he hears his name, Moses, Moses. And Moses replies, Here I am, I'm here. And then God says, Take off your sandals, for the place on which you stand is holy ground. Now, like I said, the bushes in our lives, they represent the things that you and I walk past, the things that we don't notice, the things that we don't say they're all that significant. But here's my question. Moses grows up, he's a prince of Egypt. He grows up in a city in Egypt, where Egypt is the place to be, right? It's the place to live. It's where the greatest education, the greatest army, the greatest philosophy, the religions, the food, the everything, right? The clothing. It's like a major city. It's like the number one superpower at the time. It's where people want to be. But Moses has ran away. He's now living in Midian, and he's been in Midian for about 40 years. And after 40 years passes, my question is this: why is it that when God chooses to reveal himself to Moses, when God chooses to show up in a way to call Moses to his next assignment, your next assignment is, you're not going to, you were growing up thinking you were going to be the prince of Egypt. Now you're going to go back to Egypt, not as the prince of Egypt, but as the prince of, of heaven, so to speak, a child of God. You're representing me. And here's my question: of all the ways that God could have revealed himself, why did God choose a bush? Something that's insignificant, something that people look past, something that Moses would have seen a bush every day, taking out the sheep and getting them grazing, getting them going. He would have walked past bushes all the time. But why does God choose to reveal himself through a bush? Is it possible that God is teaching us a lesson, and the lesson is this: find me in the small, insignificant places in your life. Look for me. Look for me. Yearn for me. Watch out for me. Approach me. And start to notice your day. Scan your day. Who are the people? What are the places? What are the relationships? What are the things in your life and my life that we're saying, this isn't that important, this isn't that significant, and we keep passing them by? But what if it's a God moment? What if it's a divine appointment? What if it's an opportunity in which God is trying to speak to us and saying, I have an assignment for you. I have a calling for you. I want to meet you. I want to reveal myself to you. And I know you're looking for me in places that you think like this is the only place I can find God. But what if God is saying you can also find me in the insignificant places? You can also find me in the places that you walk past. You can also find me in the places that you think that aren't that important. And that's what happens. God chooses to reveal himself for the first time to Moses in this powerful way, this way that he's going to call him back to Egypt through a bush. Through a bush. And it reminds me of Jesus. You're probably thinking, what do you mean? What are you talking about, Josh? When Jesus came, he came like a bush, so to speak, insignificant, right? Like in real time, Jesus's own people, it says that he came to his own and his own received him not. They didn't even know who he was. Why? Because he just looked plain. He just looked like another average guy. He was born to Mary and Joseph. They were kind of nobodies. He grew up in Nazareth. Like he didn't have this, the glitz and the glamour of Egypt, so to speak, right? Like you and I are drawn to the Egypts. We're drawn to great, beautiful cities that have a lot to offer. And it's like, yeah, I want to be there. I want to know that. When Jesus comes, he comes in a way that's kind of like the bush. When he came, nobody perceived him to be the Messiah. Nobody perceived him to be the Son of God. Nobody, it wasn't like when you see Jesus say, yes, I want to follow that guy. I want to know him. He kind of flipped everything on its head. And he showed us, hey, I know right now I might look like a bush and I might look like I'm insignificant. But when I live my life and when I go to the cross and when I come back, when I resurrect on Sunday morning, I'm going to show you that God uses us, people who look like our lives look like insignificant, not important, like a bush. And God can do something glorious and powerful and reveal himself through people like you, people like me, and through moments in our life that feel like bushes. So here's the homework. This weekend, this week, pray, God, where's my bush? What do I keep passing by? And where do you want to reveal yourself to me? That is important, even though I think sometimes it's not. All right, family, God